Hello everyone, my name is Hannah Boysel and this is my final video presentation. So first I would like to talk about leadership in healthcare management. So what is leadership? Well, leadership has been described as the behavior of an individual when directing the activities of a group toward a shared goal. The key aspects of the leadership role involves influencing group activities and coping with change. Leadership in healthcare management is important because it focuses on the mission, vision, strategies, and goals of a specific organization. In many healthcare organizations, their employees are expected to religiously know the mission and vision statement and be able to share this to those around them. So the specific issue with Memorial Hospital. The specific issue within Memorial Hospital of Union County is staff shortages. And with this issue, it causes increased workload for those that are working and continue to work through the shortages. They are expected to work more to attend to their patients as well as other patients that may not be their responsibility. More stress. The staff shortages causes more stress not only to their nurses but on other employees within the hospital because there's not enough employees to take care of everything a patient may bring in or need. So the patient to nurse ratio is not even. Employee burnout. There is an abundance of employee burnouts with staff shortages because employees are expected to work longer hours as well as pick up more responsibilities and shifts, and it just becomes tiresome when there's not enough staff. The baby boomer generation. They are set to retire, and there are many in that age group, unfortunately, which once again does not help with the shortages. Lower quality of care for patients. When there is a shortage of staff, this causes lower quality of care because there are not enough staff versus patients constantly coming into the hospital to receive care. Lack of income to the hospital. With lower numbers of staff causes less income to the hospital as there are not enough staff to run all departments of the hospital. So the elective surgeries and other services not needed must be either cut out completely or minimized. Original leadership model. The two models that I would like to discuss here is the dynamic culture leadership model and the transformational leadership model. So for dynamic culture leadership model, this is a direction, organization, and communication. The dynamic culture leadership model puts emphasis on the relationship between leadership versus management and art versus science. This model also is based on or focuses on vision, passion, empathy, optimism, cultural competence, and service. So now on to the transformational leadership model. This is a leadership model that causes change in individuals and social systems. This model also focuses on the 4 I's: idealized influence, inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation, and individual consideration. As you can see to the right of the screen, this is what each of the 4 I's focus on. So for individualized consideration is the extent to which a leader attends to each follower's needs and is a mentor, coach, or guide to the follower. For inspirational motivation, this is the degree to which a leader articulates an appealing vision that inspires and motivates others to perform beyond expectations. Idealized influence. This describes leaders that are role models for their followers because they engage in high standards of ethical behavior. And then lastly, you can see the intellectual stimulation. This is the extent to which leaders change assumptions, take risks, and solicit followers' ideas. Now on to strategic plan. So for the first strategic plan is training programs. So creating a team building situation, increase in communication. The second is increase wages. So offer bonuses, incentives, more hours, which then would increase a pay rate. Make the organization competitive with others around. And 3, recruit. So post job openings online, spread the word throughout patients and employees. So reach out to patients and let them know if they mention that someone is looking for a position within the hospital. Let them know that there is a website where they can apply. Many jobs are on Indeed, so just post those job openings online. And lastly, the 4th one is staff meetings. Hold weekly meetings. Share important information. Allow for employees to speak freely and encourage employees to share ideas. Key stakeholders. There are 4 main key stakeholders here. The first one being patients. So even though we don't expect patients to be a stakeholder, they are definitely one of the main stakeholders within a hospital, as they are coming in for receiving care. So they are paying for the treatments that they're getting, the lab work they're getting, the x-rays, things like that. Human resources. This is where things are coming in and out, hiring processes, firing processes, unfortunately. And another key stakeholder is the department leads. So you've got the nursing department, which includes ICU. You've got, in some hospitals, they call it a Mori center, which is a step down. OB department, all of the different departments within the hospital and their leads. And then finally the payers. So you've got the insurance payers like Aetna, Anthem, Medicare and Medicaid, which are government funded. You've got CareSource and other payers like that. On to evaluation plan for efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency. So efficiency measures whether healthcare resources are being used to get the best value for their money. It also is measured through ratio or outputs divided by inputs. The effectiveness. This is the ability to create outcomes perceived by stakeholders. It is the right task being completed, and are the goals being achieved? So my evaluation plan. For efficiency, budget each department. Increase quality and quantity. Increase resources needed or required. So for budgeting each department, make sure they know to properly use any materials that they need, and the materials that they don't need, to be sure not to overorder. For effectiveness, you've got ensure and achieve goals, establish time period of when goals should be met, and increase patient care or experience. So we would want to be treated the way we would want to treat patients the way that patients would want to treat, the way that we would want to be treated. So in other words, treat your patient like it's a family member, providing them the best care that you could possibly provide. On to the impacts of models. So these that I have listed are different impacts that would have on either the dynamic cultural leadership model or the transformational leadership model. And these are results of using these models within the hospital. So by using each of these models, it would increase the teamwork in building. It increases the potential cultural aspects of organization, also increases patient satisfaction, increases communication capabilities, the improvement of staff retention and stability, the motivation and guidance of employees, and encourages and creates new opportunities. So one that really sticks out is increasing the potential cultural aspects of organization. Each of these models focuses on the cultural aspect. So hiring different cultures would then lead to a better teamwork in building, patient satisfaction, the communication between each culture, and also when it comes to the motivation and guidance, and there are new opportunities that could be created within this cultural aspect. And this is my reference page for references that I used within my presentation. And this is the end. Thank you for listening.